Hi there, welcome to Reader Reads BTS Future. Today we'll be looking into what is happening for them for 2022 and beyond. So we start with our usual three card reading, the theme, the permission, and the group as a whole. Okay, interesting cards. Okay, we start off with the theme. So the theme tells us that management is making decisions right now. This card, king cards in my system, usually represent a person of authority, which is management. We'll see how that goes. The permission, we have 10 of cups. It represents situations that is kind of nice, but there are constraints, and we continue the cup theme, so this is quite clear here. So I say prosperity energy is in the combination, but there's also decisions walking away. That might be a keyword we need to look at. So that's a couple of cards we have, and we will look into 2022 compared to this year, and we'll be doing a 5-card reading. So 2021 represented with 1 card, and then 2022 represented with 4 cards: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So that is what we are working with. Interesting card. So the decisive time is in autumn, and then we see the continuous of decisive decisions thinking. So there's a bit of a time frame here. There is a bit of tough luck during summer. I think they go on tour, but it doesn't work out the way they want it to, which is curious. Overall, I think that 2021 was a better year for them. But during the first half, 3 months, first 3 months of 22, the energy is continued. And the reason why I say that is this type of energy is continued here, representing a person holding a globe in his hand. So some project that has been done will become present, but it's not going to be as clean, as clear as this year has been for them. So I say the continue of success happens, and this represents that. But other things, smaller things, projects from now, there's going to be undercurrents, and I'm not sure if it's their energy from inside or the existing world reacting to them. So we'll look at that. But what we know is the end of the year is going to be a very decisive time for them, which is odd because I think the decisive time on record should be during January, but we'll look into that. So the question I've been asked is we will need to ask is there somebody going into the military next year, 2022? Yes, precisely. So that is, but it is toward the end of the year, not at the beginning. And then we look at 2023 for the same answer, and we get a more decisive decision, which is a couple of people going, and it is very strained. After that, it looks a lot better. So some of the members will get exemption. That is a possibility. It looks like that. So let me clarify a bit here. From the 2 cards, we see a situation that is happy. So there's a lot of good energy happening to 2021. 2022 is a bit more forced. It's not the right timing, but it happens. And 2023, when things happen, if it does, I'm not too sure, because this is somebody more controlled of that situation and looking forward into the future. So probably nobody's going to go into the army this year. It might happen later that, but we're not going to continue this reading in that direction just yet. I think we should look at each member and see where their energy is at. So we start with Jin, Suga, okay, J-Hope, That is an interesting card. RM, good card. Jimin, V, and Jungkook. Interesting card. So I will say it out of there. Jungkook will have probably a solo, something that he shines in at the beginning of 2022. That's happening. The other person who the cards look really good for is RM, and I'm assuming that management is pushing for him very, very hard. This is the Emperor card. Emperors and kings in my system usually represent management. And then we have V. No, this is Jimin. Jimin, there is going to be a solo project coming up. He's working on it. It's not happening. Well, it would happen towards the end of the year. You'll know about it for sure. V and J-Hope, there's a couple of things that are moving here. I wouldn't be decisive, but that things that are moving, and we'll see in his individual readings what it is and how it's going. Suga, there's going to be a lot of collaborations, which I'm curious about. How I read the Page of Swords, I read that there's an opportunity, so somebody holding the sword ready to take action, and it is happening. It's not big. If it's a big happening, it would have a clear energy. So that's what we have here. It is overall, it looks like they're having a pretty good year. So BTS, let's look at the future. I'll do 5 years, 5 cards, starting from 2022, and that way we can see 23, 24, and then 25, 26. Overall, they are going to stay together. If a member was to be leaving the group, it would be in this time frame of 2023, 24. So during this time frame, and it is not set to happen. So when I say not set to happen is overall the cards indicate that things are still moving. A couple of energy key persons haven't made their decisions yet, and that is represented with the person looking into the future in the next year. So yeah, that is what we're seeing. It's not the most decisive cards, but if a decision has been made, and it's probably going to be made, a few people may take some time to grow, and that's a choice that can be made. Okay, let's do individual readings starting from Jin. Timestamps will be in the description, I think. And let's start. So Jin, next year we do 4 cards: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Oh, winter is painful. Jin, if he does, I think some decisive decision happens. It's a good one, but it brings strain to him. So this is the strain, and we see the decisive cards which come up really clear. There's nothing clearer than holding a sword next to the chariot, and then he is happy with his decision, and the overall outcome is good at first, at least, and then it brings a bit of stain, and let's see what is unblocking. So it is overcome, it looks clean, it's great. So that is a good set of cards for him for next year. Let's do one more cut for Suga. 1, 2, 3, 4. So spring, summer, autumn, winter, we have the cards right here, and let's look. So he is going to make some decisions right here. Not really. He's going to take a riskier position. That's the key word I'm looking for. And what is is there's regret, there's a bit of fear coming true, and then there is success. It is where he wants to be. Interesting cards when you get the Queen of Wands and the Empress. We see a lot of happy, vibrant energy. So I'm assuming it's going to be a solo project or some sort of very controversial collaboration that is coming out, because this card, that is the first card, tells us a bit of intense energy here. Overall, it's going to be a great year for him personally, I say. And then next up we have, I think, J-Hope. If I skip, I will be adding cards to the J-Hope. J-Hope looks very, very good. Interesting. Wow, this looks good. Making a decisive decision. This is going to be the best year for him. One of those years that he's great. This looks like this is happy. Big luck, and then some undercurrent, maybe some issues. I think it's personal, and then a decisive decision happening at the end. The cards don't always are the clearest in a full card reading of a year. You usually need to go down and deep with a big spread to get more information. Next up is will be doing a couple of cards, spring, summer. Okay, that looks painful. And then there's okay, this is going to be a tough year from him. Does he overcome it? Yes. So that looks good. A decisive year, something big, something pushing. And this card, which you can see, is the Six of Wands, sticks, whatever. It is saying that he's going to be pushing, he's going to be propelled. The management is going to propel him higher, and I think that is what is pushing here. So swords coming up front and back, that's the theme. A lot of tough decisions, hard decisions, pushy things happening. And then where do we go from there? So his situation does need a couple of more questions. So is it a solo project? Are you expecting a new album? Yes. So a solo project and a bit more pushing happening there. That's probably where we're at. Next up is Jimin. We'll do a reading for him. 4 cards. Oh, that's painful. And then it is overcome. So it is going to be a good year. The first part, there's a lot of decisions making. We don't see what it is. Sometimes it's internal. I think it's going to be a bit of bad luck, a bad decision here. But it is not going to affect him long term, because we clearly see the happenings of good things at the end of the year. So I think that's quite nice for him. I don't know too much, but we'll see if he's going to do some solo or a side project. So that's one question we like to ask. Yes, it seems everybody is branching out. Next is V. And we'll see. Okay, interesting cards. Decisive. Okay, so we have decisive. Let's look at, is it overcome? Overall, it's a good year. There's just a bit of issues that it is not solved. So I think this is personal. This is always personal, and it can be overcome, but it's just a bit of a tough year for him. Yeah. Towards the end of the year, I think he's going to be in a lot of pressure. This card represents issues, things that are pushing at you, situations that don't really feel comfortable, but he does overcome that. So that isn't bad. I probably do a 3-card reading just to be sure, so we'll look at 2022. Yeah. Hangman, soul searching, and decisive decision. So he's going to have a tough 2 years, and he will eventually rise to the occasion in 2024. Okay, that's good. Solo project, let's ask what is happening, anything to be excited about? Not really. It probably isn't going to happen soon. Or something like that. It's a party, but the party, when it is a reverse, Three of Cups usually means something a bit slower. Last is Jungkook. Jungkook, let's look at his energy. And what is he going to get? So he's going to try and do a lot of things and push hard to make things happen, and it will happen, but if he does take on anything during the middle part of the year, it's not going to be the best choices he would be making. Things happening during that time frame will bring a lot of strain into his life. We might want to look at his life in progress for the next 3 years, and let's see where that takes him, because that's decisions being made, and that's what I was expecting. So this Eight of Coins represents a lot of hard work. If it's not reversed, it is worth it. This looks almost worth it. Next up is the Devil card, so a lot of situations that is beyond his control, and what it represents is situations beyond his control that pushes him to grow a lot, I would say. And then we have the Page of Pentacles. He's settled down in the place, and he's going to make the choice that makes him happy. It's not going to be the choice with the most fame, most success, but it's going to make him happy, and that's the keyword we're looking at, which I was expecting because there was a lot of decisive pushing happening there. Let's look at their management company for a big hit, and let's see what type of energy it brings. Okay, that is an interesting card, isn't it? It's the Four of Cups. It is a lot of thinking and decisiveness, so we probably need 2 more cards, and we see that they need to think of short-term goals, accomplishments, and the name of the company, and then they probably will make decisions based on that. So when we see the Continual of Cups and then the Tower, we know what is going to happen. So change probably will happen very, very soon. Not that soon. It is within two years time frame. It's not next year in your face, because the cards are a bit reversed, but that is the energy I'm picking up. I don't know if I'm going to do in-depth full reading for each member. I might. If you think I should, leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. And have a question you'd like me to include, leave a comment. Thank you and goodbye.